Ramchandra's
Yes, yes, it's
screen?
mine.
Yes, yes. Oh well, that looks great.
Uh,
It's good.
I don't know
It
how
looks
to
all yeah in
these
the
three tables in one row.
all right. So as we now, can you show me the code of yours?
Yes, yes.
It's great. You've been able to do it the way it's supposed to be. Just I mean, from now onwards, whatever page we will have to replicate, we will also take care of the color scheme of that thing. Like we will have to do exactly like that because in the industry projects, when the UI designer gives us the design, we have to do each and everything right from like the font, the color schemes, border, etc. So exactly the same. So from now onwards, we'll also be focusing on being precise in the design. All right. Yes. So in table, uh, after the in table, you have given this semicolon. Um, Again, please note it that in HTML, we don't separate the attributes with the semicolon. This is only to separate properties inside CSS only, right? So in HTML, look in fourth line, we have a relation rel. In fourth line, we have an rel attribute, then an href attribute. These are not separated by any semicolon, right? So
Yeah.
we don't separate these things with a semicolon. That's perfect. So in the code, what we have done is um, just a minute. So we have three tables, right? Or what? Um, H. Okay, H2 artist. Could you scroll a little bit? Want to see what's on there? Yeah. So there is another table. All right. So this is where Flexbox will come into picture. What we are going to have a look at today. So we will be able to bring them in the same row. Also, Maheshwari has been able to do it. I have seen Maheshwari's design, but before that, I would like to. Okay, Ramchandraji, that's great, and we will see how we can do this single row. That's
Yeah.
great. You have done this. So you were having a little problem with this while we were having the discussion, but later on, I think you worked hard and you got this right. Like now know the syntax of table, like they use tr and td, right?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. Thank you, Ramchandraji. Irasto, could you please share your
Thank
screen?
you. Thank you, Nilesh.
Sure. Okay, so this is
Yes, so this was the. Oh, that's great. Right. This is absolutely fine.
okay.
I guess like there is no need for any input from my side. This is I mean you now have the idea, the very core ideas of tables and CSS
Okay, Nilesh.
um, uh, and how did you? Okay, so Ramchandraji,
Yeah.
Irasto and Maheshwari have been able to align them in the same row, like put them in the same row. So let's see how did Irasto and Maheshwari did that. So would you please tell us, Irasto, how were you able to do
Uh,
that thing?
okay, this was left aligned and center aligned. I made in the table tag. I
Align that.
Yeah, I aligned
Yes.
them, and then so yeah, that's how I did that.
Alright. On left, align center.
Yes.
Okay, have you got the idea, Ramchandraji, how
Yes.
Rasta did
Yes.
it?
Yes.
Can you please do it right now and like without sharing your screen? And if you are able to do the same thing, then you can tell us if you have been able to do it. Please try
Yeah.
this same thing.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Rastaji, that's perfect.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
Now I would like to ask Maheshwari ji to. share the
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
Show us the code. Maybe I'm also the UI.
Nilesh, can you able to see?
Yes, I am able to see it now. Okay, that all right.
Yeah.
That's like I said, um, you have done this absolutely. I mean, correctly. There is absolutely. So now you have the. So okay. So in the last discussion, we discussed tables and lists, and tables are, I think, you
Yeah.
got the hold
Now
of tables now.
yeah, I'm
Yes.
having one doubt actually. First, I've
Me
wrapped
also.
three tables in the span because if you use span, it will come like horizontally. So, but it didn't
Uh,
work out. And again, I tried OK div, but after that in CSS, I use float property in table.
oh, yes.
So it
Oh,
came
okay.
so
Yes,
here
yes.
I use float
Okay,
property so
float
that
left.
yeah, it came all tables of horizontally.
So, okay, so float, you did float left. And if you
Yes.
remove this, can you save and show me the design? What change does it make? If you remove this float property?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nilesh,
Yes, you're right.
yes, just to let Maheshwari and Ram also know. Sorry, you asked how I brought it inline, right? So in CSS, I wrote a code that said table display inline block. So that's how I brought them horizontal.
Display inline block.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Yes, absolutely. So, so Ramchandraji, like you won't be able to have those tables in the same row until unless you specify something in the CSS for the container that contains these tables, right?
Yes.
So as Maheshwari and Irastu did something in the CSS for the container that contains the tables, then only they were able to get the tables in the same row. Right. So let's. Um, okay. So let's do what. Okay. First of all, this is the Maheshwari screen. So Ramchandraji, just please try to. Okay, Maheshwari, please undo the changes what that we made in the code.
Oh,
Yeah, float.
so you want me add again float?
Yes, yes, yes. So
Okay.
Ramchandraji, just try this one.
Okay.
Make float property uh, to be the set as left the tables
Okay.
and then see if that works. So Maheshwari, did you? Okay, can you show me the HTML, Maheshwari?
Yeah.
So table. Can you show me the next table? The table below it. All right. And can now show me the CSS, please? So you gave this left float property to table element, not the container that.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any CSS property for dot table like the class?
Uh, for you are asking for no. I think it's
Now
like
can you
only I
scroll a
have
little
given
bit?
table element.
Yes, yes. Could you show me all the CSS? Is there any CSS written for dot table like the
Dot
element with
table.
the?
No. I didn't give any class to the table.
You didn't give it, but you gave a class as I was able to see in the index.html file, the container, the division that contains this
Okay,
table.
just actually, I have given, okay, because we need to know, I have given division, but the whole, these three tables, okay, this is what we table, so that I have given class, just that's it.
Okay, so even if you remove this class is equal to table, this won't make a difference, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah, that's what.
All right.
I didn't use any
Okay.
this one in CSS.
Yeah. All right. All right. So, okay. So we have seen two different ways, like what you have studied in Maheshwari, and actually there are plenty of other ways that we can use to do the same thing. Um,
Okay.
One of the common ways to do it, and perhaps what I use mostly, is a CSS Flexbox property, which also comes with a lot of flexibility about how we want the data to be in the row. So I'll try to um, yeah. So I'll try
Oh,
to
Ram?
cover that up. Also, like I can understand the way it works now, and we can discuss these things what you guys have done. But that will, I mean, so I will just stick to the Flexbox property that I am uh, going to cover. Also, these
Okay.
are yeah. What I am going to discuss is also just common CSS.
Hello?
Nothing complicated, just like the way you did
Ram, are
it.
you wearing headphones?
Okay.
And yes, so there are
Okay, I
many
think you're breathing on the
ways
mic,
to do
Ram.
it,
Can
and
you
your
keep
ways
it
are
away? It's
absolutely correct.
disturbing the audio.
That's perfectly fine. We can
Yeah.
do this, and it's a good
Yeah.
thing that you already did it.
Okay, yeah, bye bye.
Uh,
And one more
uh,
thing, because I
yes,
have seen many, because when I Google it, I have seen many
yeah.
of the codes like class is equal to container. What is that?
Class is equal to container.
Yes.
Uh, so yeah, I'll show you. So that is. Will you just give me a second? Mom's call. मम्मी कॉल कर रही है 1 सेकंड में अभी करता हूँ
Yeah, yeah.
आपको.
Sure, sure.
हेलो. हाँ, just a minute. हेलो. हेलो.
Yes, yes.
I'm so sorry for being so unprofessional
No, no,
in
that's
No,
okay,
between.
it's okay.
Nilesh.
No worries.
All right. Yeah. So the container class, right? So I'll tell you about it. Um, First, Ramchandra ji, have you been able to achieve that? What you're doing right now?
Can I stop my screen sharing?
Yes, you can. Yes. Ramchandra, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I'm here.
Okay. So have you given that float property to the table?
Yes,
And is it working?
yes, it's working.
Yeah. Would you just share the screen for a
Yeah,
minute?
one second.
Yes. So okay. So Ramchandra ji, you don't just please remove these double quotes in the sixth line. We don't write anything other than the name of the property, the colon, the value of the property, and semicolon.
Yeah, okay.
We don't write anything else. That um, no, just all right. So that's okay. So the albums, the artists, the ratings, all these. So Maheshwari, if I'm not sure. Have you given this album artist these headings inside the table or outside the table?
It's
In the table only, I have given caption for those things.
All right, inside the table, right?
Yes, yes.
And
yeah,
Irastor, I hope the same is with you, Irastor.
Yes, yes,
You
same
yeah.
Elias.
gave
I'm
these
also
headings.
giving inside the table.
Oh, wait a minute. Table ratings. Hmm. And could you scroll a bit? Like I would like to see the upper table. Hmm. All right. Style border, line center. Okay, and then would you please go on the CSS? All right. Just background color. Okay, please remove the TH and TD on the fourth line. Just keep the table there and save it, please. And
It couldn't change.
it's still the same. Wait a minute. Let's see what's happening. So, what might be okay? Can you give border 10 pixels? Look, border doesn't only take this single uh, value. It also takes the value of its style and the style of the border and its color. So after border, just please give a space and write no inside the value of the border, like between the colon and yes, give a space and write maybe solid and give it a black color. So this is how we debug the HTML code. We try to give borders to the elements we have, and we try to see what is the space that they're acquiring on the web page and how things going around. Or it's not working.
No, it's not working. It didn't
So
change.
please go on the CSS again. So to the table we have given this 10 pixels. All right. Background color is all right. Float left. Please go on the HTML file, please. All right. See style. Table. Okay, so in the 44th, like the okay, in the 44th line, please remove this align center, like what you did earlier. Remove all the three things: center, right, and left. And if that works, then all right. And if that doesn't work, we will move on and maybe we can discuss this later
Yeah,
in the
okay.
WhatsApp group, or if you would like to call me in person, that would do also.
Yeah, it will.
Um, it is like okay. So now go in the CSS. Yes. Just bring this background color in the new line below it. Also make sure that you have imported this index.css file into the HTML folder. Yes. Click on this. Scroll to the top. Yeah. Index.css. CSS and index.css. Look. We don't have this index.css available for index2.html. Okay, Maheshwari and Irasto.
Yeah.
So this is a thing. Like I sent you that email file path thing.
Yeah.
So look, so this in the fourth line, href is equal to index.css. We have given just the name of the file. That means the folder in which index2.html lies, inside that folder, we should have index.css. Only then it will be able to access it. But look, index.css is in CSS and JS file, right? Folder.
Yeah. So he needs
Okay.
to give
So
CSS
yes,
slash folder.
yes. So Ramchandraji,
Yeah.
just in the front of index.css, just please write dot slash
Dot slash.
CSS. Yes, dot slash CSS underscore and JS. Yes, what are the suggestion? Uh,
Yes.
CSS underscore and underscore JS, like the name of the folder in the left, as you can see.
Yeah. Yeah. Fine.
Yeah, and then give another slash and see if that works. Yeah. All right. So can you see this black? And now you can even see the color, right? What you gave to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And so as you did float left, so it's coming and one next to the other. Still, we have some things to do,
Margin, I
like
think.
the
Maybe
Now we have to
small.
give table align center, align left, like this.
um, I'm not sure if you let's just please do this quickly, please. Let's yes, because it sometimes gets unpredictable. It's not that straightforward with CSS. Align. Okay, give a space between table and align. It's not. It's not
No.
working. Maheshwari, is
Yeah.
there something missing? Like other than the float left property, what else
Uh,
should we?
I think he has to give margin in between the tables. The table.
Yes. So to separate the tables, right?
Yes.
But what about they're coming at the bottom? I mean, they're shifted downwards a little bit, the next table. So that thing, I'm not sure what is making that happen. And have you given the border black to the table? Would you please go back to the HTML code? And I would like to see where artist, album, and ratings are written. So artists is written inside the table, inside this tr. Uh, okay, so Ramchandraji, we don't do like this heading inside the tr tag
Okay.
element, like in the 15th.
And then he needs to remove that style attribute inside that table also, right?
Um,
Already he has given border in CSS
yes,
and
maybe
again
maybe
border.
Ramchandra can remove it, or maybe just complete it. It's incomplete, right? Border 5 pixel, solid or black.
Yeah.
Or
I do.
maybe you can remove this. Yes.
Is he mentioned in CSS about
Yes,
this
yes,
table
yes, yes.
border?
Yes. Ramchandra has done that. Like in every table, just bring this heading out of the tr. Inside tr, we just have the th or td. So in every table, just do it.
Yeah.
Please, in every table, remove the style, remove the uh, heading from the tr.
Yeah. Okay.
Look, Ramchandra, giving border the value as 5 pixel. I mean, it shouldn't work, right? Because we are specifying the width only. we're not specifying the color. We're not specifying what style it should have, like solid inside or outside. So that won't work. So
Okay.
in future, just keep this in mind for border style. And for every table, please do this. So how much time do we have, Rasto Maheshwari Ramchandra, for today's from now, like from now?
Yesterday, for me, actually, it has taken 2 to 3 hours because I am a bit confused in border collapse property.
Uh,
Border collapse property.
Yes, yes.
Okay, we'll see about that later. But I'm asking, like, for this session, how much time do we have from now?
Oh, okay, okay. It's 11:30. Up to 12:15, it's fine.
Like 45 minutes. All right. Rasto, is it fine? Or you...
yeah, it's fine with me, Nilesh.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Nilesh, could you continue the class? We will discuss this later.
So it's still not working.
No, no, it's still not working.
Okay, we will see. And okay, let's do another thing.
Yeah.
Look, I am going to explain what flex, display properties is, and please try to do that. If that works, I think you won't need anything else
Yeah,
for
okay.
the same purpose. All right. So let me share my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
So there it is. So flex. Look, Mahesh, what you were talking about is like that. Like keep saying this class is equal to container or flex container, something like that, right?
Yes, yes.
So this is actually the same. Like whatever class we give it, we use that class in the CSS. So here they have given this class flexbox, flex container. They're using this in this style, like the CSS, right? Dot
Yes,
flex container. So
yes.
that's the only thing. And to it we give the display flex property, which aligns these divisions one next to other, even though they are block elements. So let's do it in the code.
So if you, Nilesh, if you
Yes.
use fan, why it is coming vertically instead of
Even
blue?
if we span,
Yes.
wait a minute.
Yeah, the whole three tables I'm giving wrap it in span, but actually it came not horizontally, vertically it came.
Okay, wait. Let me show you. Are you doing it like this?
Yes, yes, yes. Table one, table two, table three. Yeah, wrapped in span.
All inside the span.
Yeah, three.
All three inside this span, right? Like this.
Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All three.
Look,
All three
okay,
tables.
though span doesn't changes the line, but this is only one span. Inside this span, they will have their own, because table is a block element. Inside this span, it will take its own, spacing. Like, wait, listen. So if we have, look, if we have this span here, and if we have this span here, so and inside this span we write S1, and inside this span we write S2. So what it's supposed to do is it will show the S1 S2 right next to each other. And let me um, copy it. control V. Let's see. Okay, so they're coming right next to each other, right? But
Yes.
look, if inside this span, if something wants a line break, that's 1.1, let's say. If inside this span something wants a line break, then who is stopping that thing to have a line break? It will have the line break, right? Like this is, let me show you 1 second. So for now, the S1 and S2 are coming right next to each other because they're inside a span, right? Inside different spans, let me say this. Because this span requires whatever length is required for the inner content. This span is of the length, whatever length is required for the content inside it, right?
Yes.
So they are not taking the whole width and they won't come in a new line, the same line. But look, let me just remove this. And inside this span, if I give a line break and I write S 1.1, then I mean BR will do its job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let me show you. Wait, style. Look, so if it had been a block element, the border would have been. Let me make this a block element first. Let's do this is a paragraph. Like in this. Refresh. Look, so this is a block element which takes all the width and they give it a BR to it and it, the BR thing is working here. Right. But if I make it a span, an inline element, it won't take the whole width. It will take the width as much as the content inside it needs. So this, look, if I write anything like that, so look, do you understand now what's happening here?
Yeah.
Like so the next span that I write will come only next to it, not the new line. Look, it started right from here. And the BR is working its job. The BR takes the S1 thing to the bottom. Like this. Do you understand?
Yeah. Got it.
Like a span itself doesn't require the next line, but if something inside it requires, because all it is an HTML element, a container, and inside it, whatever the content demands, it has to do it. But for itself, it won't take a new line. So the next span is not taking a new line, right?
Okay. Yeah.
For itself, it's not taking a new line. Yes. So and look, so the thing with tables is, though there is no BR, but the table is a block element, thus it requires a new line. So span will have to listen to it. If you do like this, you give 3 tables inside it. Let's do BR. Look, it will come in the new line, right?
Yes.
Because inside there is a single span, but inside it the table requires a new line because it's a block. So whatever width it is available to table, it will take the whole width plus, because it's a block element, it will come in the new line.
Yeah.
So inside this span, it's coming in the new line. It's not giving another new line outside this span.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's the thing. Okay, so that was it. I hope Irasto and Ramchandar, you also got this.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, got it.
So what we can do is we can try this thing. We can wrap every table inside a span. I'm not sure if that will work, but let me try it. So there is a separate span for a separate table inside this division, and let's see what that does. Now, look, it still would require another line because let's wait. Table O border. So if you put, okay, so let's conclude something from here. If you put some block elements inside
Span.
what to say, inline element, then it would come a new line, right? So if we put any block element inside uh, an inline element, it will bring a new line into picture
Okay.
like that. And in the previous case, what was happening was whatever, and inside it we can still give, you know, the BRs inside division also. That will also work uh, like that. Just given to the first like that. So this is the first division. This is the second. Right, right. And still, so the difference between inline and block is because span is an inline element. I've given it this border black, and its border this one is the border of the span. So it's giving us some unexpected behavior, which is its border. So its border started here and it ended here for this one and started also here. That's why we are seeing this bigger border line. This is the border of the span because a span is not expected to have, you know, line breaks inside it, but still we are giving it line breaks like the way we were doing it with tables and divisions. So that's why this unexpected behavior with the border of the span is coming up, right? So if whenever you require line breaks, please use always the block elements
Okay.
just to avoid some unexpected behavior like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right, yes, and what you did was perfectly fine. Experimenting is always beneficial while learning, and so let's see how we can do it in a better and efficient way. So look inside this, I'm making a table. Let's just do this. So removing these spans, and I'm keeping just the tables. So we have 3 tables now, and let's see in this UI how does it look. So it looks like this. The tables are coming right one below the other. Now I'm giving it a class, this division. Look, this is not the table itself. This is the container of the tables, the container of the many tables, right?
Yes.
This is I'm giving it a weather is, and you can hear the clouds roaring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty all right. I'm giving it a class container. I can give it any class. Let me just give it an ID instead. So whatever we give it, any class, any ID of any name, right? We will access this container. We will select this container in CSS by that thing. So if I go in index.css, I'll write hash because that was an ID container. Um, Inside it, I'll write display flex. Well, property. Let's see what that does. Nothing. All right. Let's see. So the idea was this, and inside it, so it's not working with the table. It didn't come in the same row. Let me just remove the tables and come up with divs. Let's see. Look now. Okay, let's see. So division. If I don't give this ID, I mean, if I don't give the display flex property to this, I would see these in a separate line because division is a block element and it would require another line. I mean, every new division would require another line. So they will come one after the other, like that. Let me just replicate this once more. Yeah, so one after the other. But as soon as I give this the style, as soon as I give this the style, like hash container display flex, everything would come in the same line. Okay, so that is working with divisions. Why didn't it work with table? Maybe that is supposed to be like that. Maybe tables don't support that. But for that, what we can do is we can wrap the tables inside these divisions. I haven't done this before, but let me just try if that works out. Well, CSS is a tricky thing just because it works in combinations. Right? So, like you have seen these attributes align is equal to center and left and right. So it works in combination with the attributes. So it's for sometimes it gets hard to recall the things, but let me just try it. That was Flexbox, which we were going to discuss. Let's see if that works with it. Okay, so it is working now. So what we did is we wrapped this table inside a division. And as we have seen just now that tables were not supporting this kind of behavior. They were not coming in the same line even after we gave this display flex property. So the only thing we have done is given this display flex property to the container that contains the tables, right? Not the tables only. Not the tables themselves, but to the container that contains these tables. And to make 3 tables, let me just copy and paste the code here. There are 4 tables now, which are wrapped inside division. So they're coming in this way. Also, we want them to be, aligned in. We want them to be equidistant, right? For that, what we can do is you have to remember this thing. So after giving this flex, after giving this display flex, excuse me, let me just close my door. Just a minute. Again, I'm so sorry. So
No
after
problem. Yes.
giving this to the container, we have, if we give margin to be auto, like the property of the margin to be auto, to the elements inside this container. to the child elements, right? These are grandchildren of container of that division. These divisions are the children of this division. So to the children of this division, we are giving a style. Let's not do this. Let's give them a class because we want to give, let's say child of, and I want to give the same class to all of these because because these are siblings, right? And these are the children of the container to which we gave the display as flex. So if I save it and I go in the CSS, I give margin to be auto to this class. Class is a child of div. And I give margin as auto. Look, they are now equidistant from each other. Now we don't have to give like margins, specified margins, right? We don't have to calculate like there are if there. So if we didn't have this thing, like they are now actually pretty, like they all have the same margin. Like this one has the margin of this much and half of this distance. So every box now has equal margin. This will have this much margin, this will have this much, this will have this much on the both of the sides. Also, so if we didn't have these, so Maheshwari, how did you do the margin thing? Did you calculate the margin like if we had 3 columns, we divide, the whole screen width?
No. I just roughly I have given for each table just 20, 20, 20 equal.
Yeah. So look, that won't work if we have a screen size different, like different than yours, other than yours. Like even if I, compress it or expand it, they are always going to be equidistant from each other. But if we do the approximation thing, like what if the whole width of the size is 20 pixels? So it will go out of the screen, right?
Yes. So better to give
So
auto.
yeah, so that only works when we give the display flex. If you won't give this thing, they will align in the center, I guess. They will have the same margin on both sides, but they will come after each other. Now look, the margin auto is still itself is not working if we don't give the flex. So it's in combination of it's in combination with the thing. Like if the container of all the tables has the display as flex, then we will have to give the children of that container, just children, right? Uh, the property margin as auto. Then in order to align them in this way. So that is flex in CSS. Also, what other properties we have are. So what if we have too many elements inside this? Inside this container. What if there are too many? Let me just copy it and paste it. Or let's increase the size of them. So class of div, child of div, let them have width of 30 viewport width, like 30% of the viewport width. Viewport means the screen width, VW. So if they have this width as 30, let me just give them another border. Pixel, black. So look, as long as we can experiment with CSS, HTML, we can play around. We are learning. So even if we don't get the exact required output. Look, so for now, I gave this the exact width, 30 VH width. If I increase it to 50 VH, that means every child of division that contains the table will have width of half the width of the screen. It's not working. Look, it's interesting. So look, as we are given the flex property, it accommodates it according to the
Horizontal.
way that it looks best. If I remove the flex, look what happened. If I removed the flex and I gave the width of 50 VH, then this is actually the one division. Look, this is the table. The red part, the red box you're seeing, the red colored border. This is the table, and the black border is of the division outside, right?
Yeah. Because of the
Yeah. So
development effort, it has taken 50% of the width.
yeah, it has taken the because we are given 50
50,
pixels to the
50%.
division, not the
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the table, I mean, the division is taking the, and it is getting aligned in the center. So look, this is it, and let me just bring the flex back, and let me just make uh, the width go away, and let's just add some columns, right? And, there are more than that. There's another one. So I will increase the width of the tables. And okay, look. So the division. So these are the divisions. These have different widths now, and still they have the same margin. Look, their widths are different, but as we have given the margin as auto, we have this equal distance between them, no matter what the width of these divisions are, these tables are. So, right, equal distances. Also, what if we have too many tables? Will they go out of the screen, or what will happen? Let's see. So I'm adding four more tables. Let's see. I refresh the page. Look what happened. Like it couldn't accommodate all of the tables in the same row, so we got this distorted thing on the page. To tackle this, what we do is there is a property called flex wrap. If we give this to wrap, let's see what happens. It's not working. Let's see. So what is it is supposed to do is if the thing overflows,
Okay.
the other the which are excessive in amount, the excessive part, the extra part of the content will come in the new row, right? So in this case, let me just do it. Can you understand this code? Like this is the division which has the flex container,
Yeah.
and it has 1 2 3 as the divisions. So and then here is the style of the page in which we access this flex container by using dot flex container. So just follow my pointer on the screen. So dot flex container means we access the container which has the class flex container, this division, and inside it we have 1 2 3. So to it we have given display flex and the background color whatever, and whatever that it can be anything, right? If I run it, so it's getting the flex. If I remove this flex, I'm repeating the things. So please just hold on a second. So if I run it again, like it came one after the other. And if I do this, yeah, this the flex display, it comes like that. What if we have too many divisions here? So look, it overflowed, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You see, it overflowed. So what we can do is we can give it flex map. Now, as soon as we gave this wrap property, to the flex container, the container in which we are having all these elements, to that container, this one, the outside container, the parent container, we gave this flex wrap property as its value. It wrapped the access content and it made it come below.
Yeah.
It created another row and it looks okay now, right?
Yeah.
So when on websites we see some cards, for example, so there is some e-commerce website, and we see some, maybe this is a product, right? This is a product one, this is product two, product three, product 1.1, whatever. So if so, we've always seen like these things are created dynamically, like some seller would add some more products. So as long as we have three products, let's say, as long as we have three products, we don't need this wrap property. It won't make a difference if we don't have access. So we just now have three products. But what if let's suppose these are products, right? These divisions are products, product one, two, three. Let's suppose the seller has added in the back end various other products as well. And let's see. So this many products are new. So if we won't give this wrap property, because initially we didn't have this much data to test on and we forgot to give this wrap property, it will overflow and make the website look nasty, bad. Um, so what it is, and there it is. So flex wrap, we give this flex wrap property to the container. It will wrap the excess content below them. So I'm repeating the things again and again, just maybe it can help you get used to it. So let's get to our code now, and let's see why we are having a trouble with our thing. So I hope you got the flex wrap, and the display flex property. So now there are just four, and if we remove margin auto, and I removed the margin, right, and I'm again now adding more rows, more tables. So it can accommodate all these things till now. Let's see, let's add some more, right? Now it's getting wrapped. Look, because we have this wrap property. If you remove this, I'll come on the margin part just a second. Look, it went, we had to scroll the page, right? And then this horizontal scroller came down. All right. If you can see this scroller, even if I remove the wrap, if now I add the flex wrap property to be wrap, it's getting wrapped now. If we give margin to be auto, there will be a problem. Oh, there isn't a problem. So now I think the problem was in our HTML code. When we tried to replicate these tables, there was problem in that code. But as we have seen in this practice area, that on W3 schools, actually you can access this thing. If you are not aware of this, you can go on W3 schools too. I guess you know this. Even if you don't, just remember this URL, W3 schools. Don't remember this URL. I mean, on this website you will find it anyways. So look, so it's not aligned. Like this one is not coming below this one, and this one is not coming below the second one, and this one is not coming below the third one, right? Because we have given margin auto. So what margin auto does, it gives the same spacing between two divisions in a single row. It's row specific. So when we give margin auto in the upper row, however, there are so many divisions, as compared to the second row, still the margin auto would give the margin this much, like as you can see in the screen. On the screen, it's maybe 5 pixels. So it accommodated as much as it could. If you will add this space, maybe this 5 pixels, this 5 pixels, and if you could add this much space, all this space, and if that space is bigger than the size of this element, it could have accommodated this element as well on the upper. So all these margin, the free spacing added together, all these is less than the width of this division, the first one. So that's why it couldn't accommodate there, because flex wrap was set to wrap, and it took the excessive elements to the next row, and in the next row it applied that margin auto property. So in the next row, the distance between these three will also be the same. So that's why we see it like this. If we don't give margin auto, then we will be able to see them of the same spacing as the first row. Look, there is almost no space.
Yeah.
And still here is also no space. We can give margin as per our requirements also, like Maheshwari did, but that won't be a good thing, because it will be varying on the different screens. If I give 12 pixels, let's see, look, this happens. So the only two things we have to remember are, the first one is we give this display flex and flex wrap properties to the container which contains our elements that we want to show horizontally, right? To the container, not all the tables. We are not giving this flex property, this display property as flex to the tables or the divisions which contain the tables, but we are giving it to the division that contains the divisions which contain the tables. So to the to the container, right? And to the child of that container, this container, the parent container, the child of this parent container are the divisions. This division, I'm talking about childs. Tables are the grandchildren of the container. So all the childs will have this margin. What do you want to give it? I would recommend give this as auto. So it will separate the elements, the divisions that contain the tables equidistantly. So we give margin auto to the child of the container, and we give the flex display and flex wrap to the container. So that was flex, and there are some other things as well, some other properties which you won't need that much. Maybe whatever you make, you won't require these things. Extensive CSS is required when we do the animations. Like CSS also has some animation part. We can do that, but that is specific to some graphic designers use that. And maybe game developers, browser game developers use that. But we are preparing for just that much of stuff that we will require to learn JavaScript. So we'll cover all the basics. We will not go deep into animations, and we will not go into advanced properties of CSS, because HTML and CSS, these things can, if done exhaustively, then they can consume a lot of time. So that was flex. The other one is that I wanted to discuss today is, I hope this flex display and the flex wrap properties are clear to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you have any doubt,